Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ekuegan. In my previous streams, a lot of people keep asking, EK, how come you're always running Quiver? Why are you always running the bottom tree? Is it because Shadowkeep has now made it strong? Is it just because you prefer it? Is it because it is something that you just like running? And, you know, all these questions have come up, so I decided to make a video about this. Prior to Shadowkeep, the quiver itself, the amount of damage that it can do was actually equal to a Celestial Nighthawk. But I always said this. I said in an amount of time for you to shoot all shots, you can shoot one Celestial Nighthawk shot, then from there, go into using weapons for DPS. And not only with that, but with Celestial Nighthawk, you made 4 orbs, and then you go about your business, meaning if you have a bunch of hunters on the team, 5 or more, maybe even 4 or more, you each create orbs for each other. You could kind of chain this this golden gun. Now, one of the things that most people don't like using about Quiver or the bottom tree, the way of the Pathfinder, is that when you pop your super, you end up being in this weird position where you're flying, you're constantly being like moved around the whole time. And you know, like you can even like shoot yourself off map sometimes. In Shadowkeep though, the buff on this super has been, I would say, better than before. It actually does more damage now than it did in the back. Your smoke also kind of, it lasts twice as long, so it's about 10 seconds when you make your teammates invisible. But you also get harder to pack, which helps with mobility recovery and resilience. I like running this tree because now I can run a vortex grenade. With lockdown being a thing, my grenades last twice as long, and in this season, our artifact, we have something called oppressive darkness, causing damage with avoid grenades as a weaken effect to enemies. Now, what happens is not only is my grenade staying there a lot longer, but I get to do a lot of damage. So if I look at this ogre here, I'm not even going to shoot him or anything, even though Oppressive Darkness is on. If I throw my grenade on him, let's just look at his life. As you can see, that's about half of his life. And if you have teammates and you throw your smoke down on them and they go invisible, your ability to get your grenade back is pretty quick. And these are just 2 members. Imagine me using smoke on 3 or 4 members. My grenade will be back really quick. And my discipline is only at 5. So imagine running a discipline build around your oppressive darkness grenade. That would be something that's insane. What a lot of people still don't know is that everyone believes that they can only run Orpheus Rigs on top tree. And let me show you something. With bottom tree, everyone's like, man, why would I ever put on, you know, Orpheus Rigs? Let me show you something. Here we go. Now, when I normally use my bottom tree super, I do my best not to move around too much, not to jump around, so then I could be in the same position all the time. And another thing to do is when you shoot your first one, wait till it hits the target and wait for it to kick in, and then shoot your others. What I mean by this is the first one is the initial, and the next will be for damage. So if I do this here, and I wait a bit, I get to do a crap ton more damage, and I'm landing in the same spot. So I don't have to worry about movement. And as you guys can see, I shot 6 shots. And the damage was shared with this captain. So if there's more enemies around, the damage will be shared. Now, with those 6 shots, I am going to put on Orpheus Rigs, and I'm going to go get my super back. And we're going to see how well Orpheus works with Quiver. Here we go. Alright, here we go. So we're gonna put in 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So instead of having 6 shots, I got 8 shots because I have on Orpheus Rigs. You're not getting your super back, but it does make your super last longer, which most people don't pay attention to. Now, if I decided to stack that with my grenade, I still get to do a crap ton of damage. So if you're a hunter out there, especially if you're running patrol alone, or you're doing certain activities and you are going into matchmaking and you need to output damage, Nighthawk might not be the thing, because now not only are you effectively making your team members also invisible, you also get some of your things back, and you get to put out a crap ton of damage. So, pros and cons of Mobius Quiver. The pros are, you get harder to pack. Harder to pack helps with your mobility, your recovery, and also just movement, right? And you're invisible. Then you get your grenade back because you made your teammates invisible. With your grenade back in this season, Oppressive Darkness is a thing, meaning you get to do more damage to enemies. And the final thing is your super also being something that can DPS on things, especially if there's no time gate or anything closing down on you. The best thing about this is that you have so much to it. Whereas if you're running Celestial Nighthawk, you don't have invisibility. You do not have Oppressive Darkness. It is one shot, and once that shot is gone, now you have to use your other weapons. What if you don't have these weapons? What if you don't have some of the things in the game that others have, because we are playing a game of RNG? You know? What if you don't have Anarchy that you can place there for it to do the tick damage? All I'm saying is, if you are a hunter in Destiny 2, especially playing the Shadowkeep, please make sure you check out the Bottom Tree Quiver Way of the Pathfinder class. It is a neat class, even in Crucible. It is a great class. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos. I'd like to thank everyone for helping me out. Pesty and Simburn, thank you very much for standing there and being invisible for me. I do appreciate it. You guys are fucking awesome. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything, leave it in the comments. At me on Twitter. I would love to answer your questions. And as you guys can see, another thing that happens is that as my grenade is doing damage, I get my smoke bomb back, as you guys can see. Meaning, I can do this every time. I can throw this on there. Look at the speed of my smoke bomb, right? Smoke bomb is back. I can do it again. And by the time that, you know, so you basically get to have 2 of them in. And if you have more teammates on your team, you get to do a lot more. Also, a lot of people, I'm going to put this at the end of the video, a lot of people have been asking me, EK, what are you doing with your sword whenever you stagger enemies? So, as a hunter, especially if you have the hunter sword, there's a lot of enemies that love to stomp. And the best thing to do if you're a hunter, especially if you have your oppressive grenade, you throw it at their feet, you jump, and you just hit your R1s constantly. You're like a little gnat the whole time. I wish this guy was on the floor, but he isn't. Oh, he is. Perfect. But as you can see here, you're like a little gnat, and you constantly just keep doing damage. And this captain is this captain is a pain. But yes, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching.